Okay.
And I heard that you played Ilya in Phase Zero yesterday.
Did you watch it?
Well, my friend watched it.
You didn't go watch it?
I was at the reception. I was at the reception. You should know that.
Yes, I guess I can say it. I reprised Ilya. Since if you had watched it, it must be out, right? Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. You guys have to kind of come close before you get that far.
I only have like 6 weeks.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you talk about your work on Strike Witness 2 and if it was that different than playing the first one?
I don't really. I mean, it was the same but different. It's just all the same panties. The story was a little different, but it was like her personality was still kind of the same. I guess it was a little bit more subtle than because I'd already done one season. I do voiceover for Funimation sometimes, but I live in Los Angeles. So, and just so you guys, just for that you guys know, anybody who wants to pursue voiceover, they don't live in the city that there's voiceover in, they will not fly you out and put you up. You know what I mean? So, like, even when I did Strike Witches for Funimation, they asked me, they said, this is your rate of what you get paid, and this is how many hours we have. You do the math. Do you want to come and record? And then you just have to do the math. Okay, how much is the plane ticket going to cost? Do I have to get a hotel room? Do I have to get a car? And stuff like that. But generally, when we do that, Funimation will record the entire season all at once, which is nice. In LA, generally, not always, we split them up for volume by volume, so we'll do like 4 episodes, and then a few months later, we'll do another 4 episodes. But Funimation, they'll do the entire series, especially for out-of-towners, so then it's a lot more hours, which is a good thing. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. But I was saying, like, even for me, nobody's like flying me out or putting me up, so good luck. You should move to the city that you want to work in, that's what I'm saying. Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, you can put it really close to your mouth.
Okay. What would you say your most challenging role was?
It's hard. There's a lot of different, different roles are challenging for different reasons. There was a lot. If any of you guys watched Zach's Bell.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a part, Penny. Like half the time she's really cute, the other time she's really demonic. Like the demonic voice is really hard. I mean, it's just really taxing. So I don't like to record over 2 hours. Because there's no way to do it and protect your voice really at the same time. You just have to do it. You just have to kind of go for it. And so that was pretty tough. Yes, I did 80 already.
What? Wings. Sorry, I'm trying to not bend.
Which specifically? Okay, so 2 things about that. I did not write the LRAC script. And ADR writing is only adapting. So when I say I write scripts for anime, I just adapt them. I don't, because the Japanese are already written. I'm not coming up with a story. I'm just making it sound like English and picking words and giving it some personality, making sure it flaps them out. I didn't write any scripts for Eureka. And in terms of the pronunciation for Eureka, that is what the Japanese licensors, they wanted it pronounced Eureka. We actually recorded about 22 episodes at pronouncing it Eureka. And then the Japanese original creators watched it and listened to it and they said, no, we don't want it Eureka, we want it pronounced Eureka. So we had to re-record all the lines where people said her name. Except for I don't say my name once. When I introduced myself, everybody else had a line pre-recorded. I'm like, I didn't line. And then Tony's like, no, you said it once. So then I did. But yeah, that wasn't, it's how they want it to say it. And in Japanese, they say that.
I was just remembering, last year, I forget who said it, he said that when he was doing Hellsing, he had a very long fight with the Japanese producers that it should be a la carte, not our car.
Yeah, that's a little bit different though. I don't know if it was Kristen or Taliesin who tells that story, but first of all, Olive Garden is an already established character. It's also an established character from the lore. It comes up in other versions of tellings of Dracula, so it's established, right? And second of all, it is Dracula backwards, and so there was a little bit Dracula, yeah. The director got a fax or something that said no, it has to be Arucar because it was Dracula backwards. So, but I think it just has to do with Japanese they don't have an L and an R. The L, R is kind of very similar together. It's like ra, and it's kind of in between. So it's hard for them to distinguish between those letters. Well, it's not that, like, who's to say that in terms of Eureka? Like, Eureka, we don't even say it, it's like a Greek word, right? I don't even know that Americans say Eureka is pronouncing it correctly. I don't know what the actual pronunciation is. I think that, like, and there's no, in the Alucard situation, it's very different because Dracula is already, you know, a European Western, like, it's established and it's something backwards. Right? So we're not, if we were going around in that show saying Dracula, then yeah, it would be Alucard, I guess. But Eureka, it's not, it seems like it's just a name. It's not anything that has to do with the content of what Eureka means, you know? I would prefer to the original creator. So. Okay.
So I was watching Berserk.
Is that the first time?
The first one, yeah. And I happened to see that you or someone who has your name was also a recording engineer.
Yeah, I do that too.
Oh, wow.
Generally, if I'm, not always, sometimes when I'm directing, if I'm voice directing, I'm engineering everything kind of. Just because it's faster. Because I know what I want, I know what takes one. Like I mean, and I've worked with some really great engineers. My engineer who engineered Paradise Kiss now lives in Seattle and works for a game company. But he was really fast and he was like kind of like a mind reader. Like I'd be like, go and take that take and put it on it, and he was already doing it right what to say, and he was awesome. But lots of times if it's, you know, somebody, and not that they just can't read my mind half the time, so it's faster for me to do it myself than to have somebody go, we're only recording the back half, no beats, like you have to communicate all that stuff, whereas, my brother, working that off. He says, my acupuncturist recommended a memory foam bed, so I'm going to return my mattress. Is that something you're interested in, supporting engineering?
I think I have to invest a lot of time into learning all the. I'm not tech savvy, but I'm still kind of interested in it, so I have to spend a lot of time learning all of the lingo and
They have schools specifically for that. You know.
Oh.
And you could probably, if you want to stay in Seattle, there's a lot of video game companies here, so you probably would be able to, and also music and stuff, like you probably be able to find work here. It's really quiet.
We're listening to.
Okay.
Which character do you feel like you've been most emotionally invested in, and how has that affected you emotionally, during your process?
So there was, I mean, it varies, you know, like I get that, like, I get cast as, like, shy, soft-spoken characters a lot, which, I don't mind at all. But I also get cast as loud characters, too. But I feel more shy, soft-spoken. But when I was growing up, as a child in elementary school, I was really, really shy. And I was picked on a lot. So I can relate to that, you know. I was overweight, like, slightly overweight, whatever. But as a toddler, like before I went into the school system, I was very outgoing, super outgoing. And then once I entered first grade, just the kids were mean to me, so I became super, super introverted and super shy. So I would say that like any character that has, you know, who are more shy or introvert, I relate to in a way that is more than, oh, she's just shy. You know what I mean? Because all that, like, if you're like coming from somewhere, and I also appreciate that, like, if somebody seems weak, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily weak. Maybe they're just withdrawn. You know? So.
Has that ever affected you during certain seasons where you
I
actually
mean,
feel like
I don't. I mean, usually the Japanese animators and the music, like, they do such a great job that, like, if it's the movie scene, like, sometimes it does make me cry. I cry before the movie, when I'm supposed to be crying. But it's like, I'm generally not, like, hating on myself when the character's hating on myself. You know what I mean? There's been times when, like, I think when we were doing Koikaze, I was going through a really bad breakup. So, like, there was, like, the emotional, like, scenes, like, that was really cathartic for me because I was, like, able to get stuff out, like, during that. But generally, no. I'm not using anime as therapy. I guess not usually that. I think it's therapy. Hello.
Okay, so my question is basically about the producing aspect of your career.
Okay.
Kind of unicorn.
Yeah.
So as a producer, how do you go about coordinating the bi-coastal casting?
Oh, you know what, generally speaking, when it comes to that, we always want the best people for the job, but sometimes, depending on where Michael is going to be, or other factors, we kind of say, oh, we really hope for an LA heavy cast, or oh, we really hope for a New York heavy cast, you know, and so we'll kind of stack the deck a little bit that way, hoping that it comes out that way.
Right.
And then if there are a bunch of characters that we may not need to audition for, you know, the smaller people on the deck and stuff like that. Yeah, well, you know what the thing about Walla is, like, we don't, we generally, there are a minimum for voice actors in LA, which means there are time minimums. So you have to pay an actor 2 hours, even if they're there for 15 minutes. So with a show like Gundam, all the leads have a huge amount, but then there's sometimes supporting characters, or there are people who are on the bridge, who are established characters. They come back every single episode. Maybe they have like 5 lines or 10 lines, or maybe it's the villain that's being introduced, but it's not his huge episode, and he has only like, you know, 10 lines or something. So we'll use up the remaining time of those actors to do the Walla, you know, and they're all good actors, they can change up their voices. So that's more of what we do with how we treat Walla. But if there's like people on the bridge, you'll see a lot of those people are from New York in the terms of Gundam, because Sunrise and Wanda Visual Representatives, they fly to LA. So we wanted, you know, so we ended up wanting a little bit more heavy LA cast for the leads because they want to be physically there. That said, like, Zinnerman is out of New York, and some other, you know, major characters are out of New York.
Right. Thank you.